Hello everyone, welcome to the EBS-50 tutorials. Today we're going to talk about the EBS Toolkit. My name is Jurgen Rodenhuis, I'm one of the developers of the ESL server software. Welcome to this tutorial. Now the EBS-50 Toolkit is a set of tools to be run on your Windows PC that help you with some extra management for your EBS-50. Once you receive the toolkit, it is filled with a set of folders, so let's go through them one by one. At the top we'll find drivers, which is a USB driver for the USB port on the EBS-50. So if you ever run into any issues where the EBS-50 becomes completely unresponsive, you can use this driver to communicate with it on a very low level by connecting it on the USB port of your PC. The EBS Finder, it comes in a zip that I already unzipped, is a very neat tool that allows you to find all of the EBSs on your network. And I mean everything, so the EBS-50s, but also EBS-40s or EBS-30s if you have them. So right now I'm searching on the network that my computer is connected to, and I can find the EBS-50 that is here on the table, an EBS-50 from a colleague of mine, and a couple of EBS-40s that we have here in the office. It will list us the IP address that they're on, the MAC address that they have, and you can use that MAC address to make sure that you've got the correct unit. On the bottom of the unit, you'll see the serial number and the MAC address, and the MAC address of this unit ends with 0030. And if we look in the EBS Finder, at the top is MAC address 0030. So that's our unit. If you double click any of the lines, it will open your default browser and it will open up the web interface of that EBS in question. So this is a really neat tool to have. Next up in the list are examples. Examples basically for the database settings. By default, the EBS-50 has a built-in MySQL database server. It can also build some smaller low-level SQLite databases, but all kinds of database formats are supported by the ESL server, and these examples show you how you can get it to work by looking at the examples that we've already provided you with. Next up is the firmware. This is firmware for every single part of your ESL ecosystem. So we've got a folder with the EBS-30, the earlier EBS model, the EBS-40, our current range extender model, and of course the EBS-50 itself. The ePaper ESLs, which are of course the heart and soul of your ESL system, are all in their own little neat folders with the latest version of their firmware that you can update through the ESL server software, which is in a other tutorial. Here we've got the TBS-350 and the ET-350 LCD unit. Next up we've got the manuals, a complete list with all of your EBS-50 user manuals. The template designer, like the EBS Finder, this is a separate application. Now we've got an entire tutorial about templates, but basically templates are like the blueprints for your ESLs. You've got data in your database, and you've got ESLs that can show an image, and the template turns the text of your database into an image for your ESL. And you're already provided with a set of basic templates for default use. So for instance, this is the 4-inch discount template, and you can also edit the tool, and through the wizard it's also possible to export your templates to the EBS-50 once you're done creating templates. Up next are those default templates that we just saw. These are the actual template files. Then there's a set of tools, If you want to connect to the EBS-50 through WinSCP, a SFTP server, here are the credentials that you need to connect to a default EBS-50. Any of these settings can be changed for security. There are tutorials about that in a later episode. And besides WinSCP, you can also connect through PuTTY, and you can connect to the onboard MySQL database. And there is a flash image tool. Like I said, we have a USB driver so you can talk to the EBS-50 on a low level if something goes horribly wrong, which should never happen, but if that happens, we'll give you all the tools to get it running without having to send it to Opticon. And lastly, there's a zip file with the default templates. This zip file can be uploaded to the EBS-50, so it contains all of the templates and also the template fonts. If you create a template with unique fonts and the EBS-50 does not have them, well, no problem, because the zip file has the fonts for you, uploads it to the EBS-50, and then it can use the fonts without any issue. So that, in a nutshell, is the EBS-50 toolkit. This is a great help for installing and updating and configuring your EBS-50. There are also other tutorials in this EBS-50 series. You can find the link to the playlist in the description. And if you have any other questions about the EBS-50, you can contact Opticon. Our contact is also in the description. Thank you for watching. See you next time.